Hi, I'm Clarke from Craftsuprint.com with another edition of Cup TV, and today I'm going to show you how to make my new concept pop-up front cards, and these are Christmas ones. And if you look from the side you can see all the lovely dimensionality of the pop-up pieces, and then the pop-ups on the front of the card, and all you've got is this little flap that folds it down to fit into the envelope. Each of the kits comes with a matching envelope as well. And here's the one for the penguin one, and it's decorated front and back. Now just move these to one side and I'll get started showing you just how easy they are to make. All of the kits come with 6 sheets. Oh, there, I wonder where I put them then. They come with 6 sheets in the kit, and like with a lot of my designs, you'll find you've got score registration marks, and you can use whichever method you like to score those. I've shown you a few recently, so I won't show you any more. And then you cut it out, but don't cut along these lines here on the second box, because it's a lot easier to do that later. I'll just move that to one side, and each of the kits comes with full photo instructions too, which I've printed out in black and white, but whichever you like. And to begin with, we're going to start with the front of the card, and you've got 2 score lines on the front, one down here and one up there. And what you're going to do is, on the very top one, you don't really need to press it and crease it too much, so just use a ruler and a bone folder and press against it, but don't press it flat. And then I've already done this little bit, but you turn this flap up here, and again you press it flat, and in the kit you'll find you've got the front cover piece to adhere onto the front there, but that needs to be left to dry if you use wet glue like I have done here. And the next thing we need to do is to move to the back piece, and again you do exactly the same with the top score line, in that you push it against it but don't crease it properly, and then you score and crease against the other 3 so that they then become like a little W from the side. The next thing you need to do is, above this score line at the top, is to add either, and I would much prefer to use wet glue here, but for quickness I'm going to use my sticky tape putter on a thingy, and making sure you've got them the right way up, which I didn't on one of my earlier ones, is turn it over and line the 2 up together, which I'm going to do now. And hopefully I'll be able to line them up just about exactly. There we go. And then using a bone folder I would give a good sharp press just to make sure they've adhered properly. And again, just pull out a little bit against those 2 score lines just underneath where you've stuck it. And then if you turn it over so that the front is facing you, fold in the front flap and then fold in that W piece, and on the very bottom piece, which is a glue flap, just add your chosen glue, and then making sure that they stay folded, fold the front back down into place, give a sharp press with the bone folder, and there we've got the front completed with the front flap. Now all we need to do is to add all the pop-up pieces, and the first thing we need for that is of course the boxes, which you've cut out. And with the box you need to press flat with your bone folder on each of the creases, and then you'll notice that one of them says glue tab. So if you fold in the one with the glue tab and add double-sided, that's my crafty pen going there, and I've managed to go and pull the tape out of that, so I'm going to use, instead of my sticky tape putter on a thingy, I'm going to have to use double-sided tape here. So I'm going to add double-sided tape to that glue flap, and this is the hardest thing with double-sided tape, is taking the backing off of it, but there we go. And then if you fold, keep that glue flap folded in, and then if you fold this box in half, you'll make sure that your box stays true. And then if you fold it, refold it every which way, because once it's on the card it will fold different ways, and you need to make sure that it's all true. And there we are, and it will look like a tube from the side, and hopefully you can see that. Now then, the next bit in the instructions tells you to squash it flat. It doesn't matter which piece you've got upmost, but what you then need is double-sided tape on 2 adjoining sides. So again, I'm going to do that here with this double-sided tape, like this. Not on the one with the lines on it though. You want it on the other one. You will need it on the other one too later, but the first one you need is the plain box. And there we go. On that one there, and on this one here. So we've added that there like that. I'm getting stuck here, aren't I? And then I'm going to remove the double-sided tape, backing from it, and then the next instruction tells you to refold the box. So at the moment, if I can get this off, they're on adjoining sides, so that's there and there. I'm now going to squash it the other way, so that now I have got tape on the top and the bottom side of there. And what we're going to do with that is, against the fold line created by when this flap folds up, we're going to place it so that one of those pieces of sticky tape is sticking to the base of it, like that, and the second one is face up. So we've got one where it's already stuck down underneath, and the second piece of tape is now just there. And the easiest way to make sure it's in the right place is just to press forward, and using a bone folder, just press it into place. And then when you open it up, you find that your boxing is in exactly the right place for you. And then of course we need to add the first layer of pop-up to it. And here's your first layer. And that is going to stick to the very front of this box here, like that. So we need double-sided tape on the front. So I'm going to squash it all flat again. And again I'm going to add double-sided tape to what will be the front of the box. You might be better off using a slightly wider one than what I've picked up here, but that's on there. You then also need something to stop this from flopping around at the top, and that's where your other box comes in. And I'm going to add the double-sided tape now before I forget, I think. So I'm going to add it to the larger piece. I'm adding it to two adjacent sides, and I'm going to cut it. This is why I say it's a lot easier to do it once you've folded it. And then I'm yet again going to, no, it's not two adjacent sides, it's two opposite sides. I beg your pardon, I should read the instructions, shouldn't I? So it's two opposite sides, so I'm going to put it onto one side there and one side there. I hope you can see this. There we go. And again I'm going to take the double-sided tape off of just one of the pieces this time to begin with. So it's the right one. And then I'm going to add it. It doesn't want to come off, look, even when you've got nails. There we go, look. And somewhere in the middle I'm going to place that on so that it's going to provide support for it. And then the other side has already got its double-sided tape onto it. Now the easiest way that I have found for making sure these stay in exactly the right place is, oh dear, I wish my sticky tape hadn't come out of my sticky tape putter on a thingy. There we go. Okay, is to line this up with the line of the fold of the bottom part of that box there. So I'm lining that up with that there, and then this box here is going to be pressed that way. You can use more of the little boxes if you like, but for quickness I'm just going to show you with the large one for the moment. And so that is up like that, but it's going to press towards the front. Right, holding those two in place and making sure the edges are in line, and then going to lift this up yet again and press it flat. And I'm going to say, oh my hallelujahs all at once and hope that I've done this correctly. And I have, look, because there it is, and it's on the side. Now paper's got a memory, so you need to pull down on the flap just so that it remembers that you want it to stand up square, and there it does. And we're going to do exactly the same with the next one. There's about 3 or 4 pieces of decoupage that you can add, but in this case I'm just going to add the one to give you the idea. So I'm going to add a box, and I think I'm going to add one about twice the width two of the pieces. You can use whatever you like, and obviously the first one we need to do is the one for the bottom. So this one does need it on two adjacent sides. I'm going to put the double-sided tape here on the two adjacent sides, and just like we did with the other one, I'm going to take the backing off and then I'm going to refold it. There we go. So it's on the two adjacent sides. I'm now going to squash it the other way so that it's top and bottom on this side here. I'm going to decide that, yes, I want Santa and Rudolph to be in the middle. I'm placing it against that edge there and pressing it flat and sticking it down so that the box is in the right place. Now we need to squash it flat and add double-sided tape to the front of what will be the front of the box when it's upright, and obviously remove that. And again, I'm going to use just a small one up the top here to add support to the top of Santa and Rudolph. We don't want them to be all floppy and fall over, do we? I'll take the backing off of there, and I'll just make sure, I think somewhere in the middle will be the best. And so I'm going to place it in the middle here like that, and press it that way, and put the double-sided tape on the other side of it. I bet I've made that a bit too long. There we go. Like that. And take the backing off of that. And now in exactly the same way as we put the first layer on, I'm going to line this edge up here with the bottom edge of the box. There. I'm making sure that this box is pressed that way towards the front of the card. Like that. Make sure they stay in the right place. And again, stick it into place. And that basically is it. You can add the other, I think there's snowballs and there's presents here that you could add for this one. Can't find it. Oh yeah, here they go, snowballs. Look, you can have a little pile of snowballs as well. But you just add those in exactly the same way. And that basically is your card finished. And with the others, what I did, if I bring those back in here, I added lots of glitter, because I think glitter on the snow just shows it off so nicely, doesn't it? Oh, and this one here, I've added a little pom-pom to the end of his hat as well. And for the one we've just made up, I'd already made the envelope up for it to go in the envelope. And just like the other ones, it will now fold flat to fit in its envelope too. Or if you're selling your cards and you're putting them in a cellophane wrapper, your customers can see exactly what the card's going to look like too. So again, just give it a little pull down just to make sure that it stands up nicely for you. There are lots of greetings in the kit. You can either add them to the front of the card, or with this one you could add it to the back of the card. And if you've got one of these, our lovely Crafty Bob pens, probably the best thing for writing on the back of the card. We were selling those at the NEC and we're giving them away as prizes, so you're lucky if you've got one of those. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like my designs, just go to www.craftsuprint.com/Carol Clarke, and I hope to see you again next time on Cup TV. Bye!